Good morning, you're watching World Talks and I'm your host, Klaudia Czerwińska. Kiril Dimitriev is the first high-ranking Russian official on a visit to Washington since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. This meeting is aimed at holding a discussion of improving the relations between the U.S. and Russia. Meanwhile, Europe is making its best efforts to provide support for Ukraine and create a leverage to have its say at the negotiating table. With a flurry of events, statements and meetings taking place, the question about the future of ceasefire lingers. Joining me now to talk about the recent developments on the subject, I'm joined by Oleksiy Goncharenko, Ukrainian member of the parliament from the European Solidarity Party. Good morning and thank you for joining me on the program. It's great to have you as always. So Dimitriev is the first official to visit the U.S. After the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Do you think that the U.S. is actually playing a dangerous game by wanting to get cozier with Russia? And what could be the cost for Ukraine?
I don't think that this is a dangerous game. I think this is the right thing because we need peace as soon as possible in Ukraine. And if this visit of Mr. Dmitriev to United States, if it will have a result, a real shift in peace negotiations, because for the moment Putin doesn't want any peace, and all this peace plan of Trump, it doesn't work because of Putin. So I think Dmitriev is coming to Washington, and there he will receive an ultimatum from Trump and his team that Russia needs to start real negotiations, not just to stop the slow walking of the process and dragging out. So that's what I think, and if it will happen, that will be good. If the result of visit of Dmitriev will be that United States will start business with Russia, because Dmitriev is a business person, so he is there to discuss business, and he is there trying to seduce Americans with money. And if it will happen without peace in Ukraine, that would be a very bad scenario. But if it will be a real peace in Ukraine, and that can be done, and Americans have enough leverage in Russia, that would be great.
But don't you think it's quite interesting? You mentioned that Dimitriev is a businessman and he might want to go to Washington to also talk about peace. But what about intercepting, for example, a potential minerals deal? We've heard from Dimitriev himself only not so long ago when he suggested that Russia would be willing to actually deal its own rare minerals. Do you think that this would not be in conflict with a potential minerals deal with Ukraine?
No, I don't see any conflict here. In general, I don't like to see Russia back on the world market, but if it will happen, unfortunately, we don't have leverage ourselves on this. So, but even if it will happen, it doesn't interfere with Ukrainian assets or Ukrainian minerals. It's not a problem. The problem will be, as I told you, if Russia will be back on the market, but without stopping the war against Ukraine. This would be a huge problem both for Ukraine and for Europe, because it will mean that Russia will get out from the economical collapse they're moving to, and that will make them even more aggressive. So they should be stopped, and economical leverage is very important in this direction.
Let's take a closer look at the actual minerals deal. According to the words by Volodymyr Zelensky from Tuesday evening, there's no mention of NATO in the minerals agreement with the United States. President Zelensky also added that the decision regarding the deal will be made in the coming days. What do we know at this point? Where are the negotiations?
At this moment, Ukraine is trying to change the draft, which was proposed to us by Americans, because this is a very tough draft and very tough text. So that's what's happening.
Mr. Zelensky also added that it is clear that the agreement cannot contradict efforts, aspirations, or intentions for future membership in the European Union.
Yeah.
What if the U.S. not budge in terms of these conditions, and it's going to take longer for the minerals deal to be achieved?
Yeah, that is very important for us. European integration is a key for us. so it shouldn't be a problem. So the text should be changed also because of this. In other case, we will not sign it. That's it. So that's why we are in difficult situation, because from one side point of view, we can't sign the deal which will contradict our European integration. And we can't be, kind of a vessel coming to become kind of a economical vessel. But at the same time, we need United States. We need United States in this war, and we can't lose them as an ally. So it's quite a difficult moment, but I hope we will manage.
As of yesterday, we found out that Russia is actually raising the number of conscripts, and they want to actually have a call-up during spring to up to 160,000, making it the biggest military call-up in years. This doesn't look like a country that is actually looking for peace, does it?
No, Russia doesn't want any peace. Russia prepares for bigger war against Europe, I think, and this is a huge challenge which all Europe faces now.
So would you consider those ceasefire talks, those sort of talks towards peace negotiations, the talks with Washington, actually time for Russia to regroup at this point in time?
No, definitely Russia will use this time, if it will happen, to regroup too. But Russia doesn't want to stop even. But Americans, as I told you, they have enough leverage on them if they will put pressure, real pressure on them. So I hope they will do this. For the moment, it's only Russia is afraid just of two countries in the world. It's China and United States. And we can't count on China, so we should count on United States in this situation. We don't have any other option.
During a meeting, European Commissioner for Defense Andrius Kubilius said that, I quote, intelligence services report, Russia is getting ready to challenge NATO Article 5 by 2030. What do you think is next on Putin's agenda if it comes to Europe?
I think, first of all, I think it will be Kazakhstan, Georgia. Moldova is protected today by Ukraine, so the Russians can't get there. Baltic states, Poland, these countries, Scandinavian countries, all the countries which neighbors with Russia are in the zone of risk, that's for sure.
We've heard that Britain and France are actually to host a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing, which is this is the second meeting that is supposed to take place on April 10th. We've heard about Mr. Macron organizing a small meeting of leaders in reaction to Mr. Trump's phone call with Mr. Putin. What are the expectations for the upcoming meeting? We've heard about the previous one. What is Ukraine's expectation for this one?
We need to finally have a decisions, because all these summits, meetings, next summits, new meetings, and where is the result? Why air defense is not concentrated on Polish-Ukrainian, Romanian-Ukrainian border, intercepting Russian missiles and drones? Russian missiles are falling on Polish land. On Romanian, Russian drones are falling on Romanian land. Why it's not stopped? I can't understand this. Why European Union is not seizing Russian assets? Why we're speaking about this contingent, but no contingent is arriving? So we need finally to do something. And I hope Europe finally will not just hold summits, but will make real steps.
Thank you so much. Oleksiy Goncharenko, member of the Ukrainian Parliament. It's great to have you on the show as always. And so this would be all for now here on World Talks, but please do stay tuned. We're back in just a moment with more news and features. I'm Claudia Czerniska.